Hi guys, welcome back to Just an Ordinary Girl. Today I'm gonna teach you how to make some stuffed kabocha squash. So you're gonna need some celery, some garlic. I have some red peppers. I have some mushrooms. I'm going to add some zucchini in there. Your onions. Of course, the beautiful kabocha squash. Doesn't that look nice? You're gonna need some brown lentils. And you're gonna need some homemade bread cubes. If you want to know how to make this, just go back a couple videos and you'll see how to make it out of using fresh bread. Okay guys, so your first step would be to go ahead and wash your squash. So what I do, I just take my squash and I put it in the sink with a scrubby brush and a little soap on there, and I just go ahead and give it a good washing, just like this. You can potentially eat this skin on your squash, but I usually don't because I don't like it, but it all depends on your taste. It's very healthy for you. It gives you lots of vitamins. Okay, now after you get your squash washed, now you're going to want to get a knife. I use one of these. And you're going to just cut the top. Go back and forth like this. You'll see how I'm cutting it. Making a nice square in there. Just like that. Now we're going to want to pop it out. I'm going to try a butter knife at first, but normally I do a trick. What you're trying to do essentially is get this out. But what I just did was popped it in. But you know it's loose anyhow. You might want to cut it a little more just to pop this out. Okay, so essentially get your knife, butter knife, inside the square like that. Hopefully you can see this. And then you're going to want to gently lift it until it comes out like that. Then see, you're left with just a square with the seeds. Now your next step is just going to take your hand in and you're going to pull out all these seeds. See? Okay. Okay, so now that you get the seeds out, you're going to want to run water into the squash. And I give it a little shake like this. And what I'm doing essentially is just trying to get, if there's any loose seeds in there, run your hand along and try to pull them out. Basically set this into your pan. And then we're going to go on to the next step. So as you can see, I have some things already cut, such as my squash. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and throw those into a pot. And I have some peppers cut already. And we're going to add that into the pot. Like that. judge how much you think you'll need for your squash. And it's going to depend on, you know, how big your squash is, how many you have. Some people might do 2 at a time. I think I'm just going to do the 1 today because it's rather big. And then I'll only need 1 onion. Here's how I cut my onion. Okay, go ahead, slice these onions up. Sorry if you can't see because I am left-handed. And then I'll just throw them into the pot as I cut. Like that. I'm gonna go ahead and wash the mushrooms, and I'm gonna go ahead and wash some celery, and we'll cut those and throw them in the pot. Okay guys, now all the veggies are cut. Now what you want to do is you want to cover them with water. I wouldn't say all the way, just a little bit, like that. I don't know how many cups it is. And now what you're going to do is cook this down on the stove. You can put your put a lid on here and let this cook down probably a good 10 or 15 minutes till all the vegetables are translucent and soft. Guys, this is a check-in. It's been about 20-25 minutes. You see how translucent the onions are, and everything's cooked. You got a little liquid in here, but this liquid will be alright. You might want to strain it if it gets too much liquid, but in my case, I don't think I'll need to. If it's too much liquid, then it'll make your stuffing too soggy. And we're still cooking the lentils. I think they're gonna be getting done soon. I also decided to make some parsley potatoes. So we got that cooking in the back, and that will be up on my channel as well. And it'll probably come after this video, so stay tuned for that one. Okay, so now for your squash, you're going to want to go ahead and preheat the oven. I'm going to cook this today at 425. And we're going to go about 40 minutes to an hour, but we'll, you know, keep an eye on it. So this is ready. And I was letting this cook a little bit more. Oops, steamed up. But they look ready. So just go ahead and grab yourself a bowl. I got a nice big bowl here. And we're going to get the strainer out, which is here. And we're going to go ahead and start straining our veggies and our lentils. Now you may want to keep the vegetable broth, so you can use that in other recipes like soups, or you can actually keep it if you want to add it to this recipe. Okay, here we go. I like to just dump it like that, quickly, and then I give it a good shake, like that. Dump it into your bowl. Now for the vegetables. toss like this. We're gonna go ahead and dump this into the bowl. Mix this up a little. Move you back a little so you can see. I'll just hold you in my hand like that. That's going to make a really good stuffing. Okay, so I forgot to go ahead and make some flaxseed egg. That's for each egg. So we're gonna do, I want to do 3 eggs. I just get my tap water running there and fill it, make sure it's warm. I don't know about you guys, but did you guys get any snow where you're at? Boy, oh boy, we did get it here. I'm looking out the window. I'll show you. Snow. Lots of snow. Okay, now we're going to let that sit for a few minutes. And in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and dump our breadcrumbs. I'm going to dump them all in there. Like that. And mix them up. This will soften as it mixes. So excited for this. Can't wait to eat. We love eating in this house, don't we, baby?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I'll be back in 5 minutes. Okay, guys, we're back now. The egg's ready to go. We got this left you here where we put the stuffing cubes into the mixture. Now I'll show you what this looks like. See, it looks like eggs. See how eggs do that? Slimy consistency. So dump your egg in there like that. Okay, now this is how I cook, and it may not be the proper way, but it is my way. So I will show you how I do it. So I'm going to use some black pepper. I do a sprinkle of black pepper. Next we have some thyme. Let's do a sprinkle of thyme. Some parsley flakes. Sprinkle that. Now we're going to sprinkle some garlic powder. We love garlic powder. Now we're going to put some paprika in there. I swear I just grabbed every spice I could think of that would taste good in here. That's how I cook. Okay, onion powder. There we go. Now, once you get all those seasonings in there, I would say that's probably no more, if I had to guess, no more than a tablespoon of each. Use your judgment and use your own taste buds, because you can taste this as you go. Now you stir this up because everything is cooked, you know what I mean? So you're not going to get sick. You don't have no eggs to worry about salmonella poisoning. You know, that's what's lovely about vegan cooking or whole plant-based cooking, is that you don't have to worry whether your eggs are raw. But you can give it a stir, keep stirring, mix that up, because you want your bread stuffing cubes to be mushy. So here's what I do. I'm an old Italian, so We use our hands for everything. Okay. Took the rings off, took the bracelet off. That way nothing's getting into the bowl. Now you want to just squish it up like this. Take your hands and squish it. Your goal is to get all the bread stuffing cubes so that they're not hard as a rock. I don't need to here, but normally if you have, this is just a perfect consistency for my my stuffing, and I don't need to add any liquid because you see how it's sticking together. That's what you want. You want it to be able to form a ball like that. But if you have too much bread and you don't have enough liquid, you're going to want to add some warm water, and then you could squish it. But mine has just enough. Mine's perfect, really. And you just want to fold it, squish it around, and make sure these stuffing cubes get softened. Because otherwise it won't taste great. I mean, it will taste good. The flavors will be there, but then you'll have these hard pieces. See how this is sort of hard? So you may have to let it soak a little bit. Or you can, if you're in my situation, like where mine's perfect consistency, I would potentially be able to either let this soak a little bit longer in its own juices, and or you could add a little liquid, and then you'd have to add a little more bread to sop that liquid up, because you don't want it too liquidy. So the goal is just to make a nice stuffing with a nice stuffing ball. Most of this bread's perfect too, by the way. There's just a few little pieces that take your hands in there if you can, break the pieces up like that. And this is to the point where you want to taste it. You know, you want to see if that's enough seasoning. You know, so go ahead and wash your hands like I'm going to do. And then we'll get a fork or a spoon, whichever you have handy, and go ahead and give it a taste. And see, this is almost perfect. But for our liking, we like a little more garlic. So now it's where we'll add the garlic and the onion. Garlic and the onion. That's what really brings out the flavors. All the other flavors are good. Mix that back up. And I think now it'll be perfect. So that's how you cook without really measuring things. You just dump it in, mix it around, get something to taste it with. And if you think you need more, that's when you put more. You always start with less, and then you can add more. But you remember, if you put too much in the beginning, say I started with 2 tablespoons, then it would be like, oh, well, wait a minute, that's too strong. And then you take away. So you always start small and then add to it. Okay, now we're ready to stuff our squash. Okay, guys, now here comes the fun part. So you get your stuffing like that, and you're going to go ahead and stuff your squash. Just like that. Just push it down in there. Push it, push it. Quite a lot left over. So, I have 2 more squash here that I'm not going to prepare today, but I'll probably prepare another day. So what I'm going to do next is just going to add a little water to the bottom of this. Add about halfway full water. And then we're going to want to go ahead and cover this with parchment paper and then foil on top. Here's what I do. Just measure it sort of. Just sort of lay it on top. It's only to protect your food from getting the foil. You don't want that foil on your food. I'm going to go ahead and bake it in the oven at 425. You see how it fits nicely in there? Okay, and we'll be back. Okay guys, this has been in for about an hour. Now here's how you test it to see if it's good, by putting a fork in different areas of your squash. Some parts of the squash is a little bit more tender than other parts. Some is still hard. So this is where I want you to keep the foil off, and you go ahead and put it back in, and you can give it 10 to 15 more minutes, and then the top will get a little bit crusty, and then it'll be perfect. Also, you're going to want to keep your eye on it, and you might want to baste it a little bit like you would a turkey by just even getting a spoon and putting some of your water or your liquid on top of the stuffing, because you don't want the stuffing getting too hard and you won't be able to chew it. Okay guys, it's done. Here's what it looks like. Final result. Let me turn this light on here. Doesn't that look delicious? See? It's a little crispy on top. And it's nice and tender. I think too, by poking the holes in it like we did, I think that actually gives it a little quicker cooking time. Alright, I'll be back when we're all plated up. Okay guys, here it is on a plate. It's beautiful. It looks delicious. Okay guys, now I'm going to go ahead and cut this so you can see what it looks like. It's steamy hot. I'm going to grab a plate so you can see the inside. Okay, are you ready for it? Let's see if we can get it out of there. I'm not right-handed. Doesn't that look good? Okay guys, how's that? Here's what it looks like all plated up. The squash, stuffed squash. And then we're having parsley potatoes tonight with it. And a little avocado. That'll be up on my channel after this video probably. But anyhow, stay tuned for that. Okay, hopefully you liked this video. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and smash that bell for more videos. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.